run a couple of errands with me today. We got to return these motorcycles to the dealership that we clean them for, and pick up a couple of new ones to get ran through the shop. And I figured, well, why not throw the helmet on and put the camera to work for this extra drive time today. You know, I don't really have a hard, fast topic on anything, but something that's really been bothering me more than anything is the world right now, the uncertainty, and just the chaos, really, you know, if we can just call it that. This the crime and inability to have public discourse without hatred towards another human being is insane right now. And it's funny, you know, when I was growing up, right? Well, I mean, it's not even growing up. When my wife and I were talking about kids, you know, and kind of what we would hope the world would be like, and whether or not we were even comfortable having kids, the world was different, right? Like, the uncertainty and the hatred, no matter what, you know, if you have a differing opinion than somebody else, everybody that doesn't share that opinion with you feels like they need to hate you. You know, this isn't left or right, this isn't political, this is just the inability to let another human being form their own opinion without acting like your opinion's the only one that matters, right? You know, at the end of the day, I'm friends with people on every side with all their own opinions, and you know, we can have those conversations and we can disagree with one another, but guess what? I still like them. They're still my buddy. They're, you know, we still get together and hang out and go ride motorcycles or go to car shows or whatever it is, you know, but there's no hatred in the group. And it's really sad that, you know, my now 10 and 7-year-olds are growing up in a world that's so divided and so hateful, you know. I was talking to my youngest son this morning. We rode the motorcycle to school. We were sitting on our bench, just hanging out, talking, staring at the motorcycle, and he started talking about how he hates this and he hates that, and I was like, man, hate is strong. You may not like it. You may not think it's cool. You may not want to be involved in those things, or what, you know, whatever it is, be involved with those things, or be around those items or those people or those whatever, but to say you hate them is wild. You know, he said, well, you hate stuff, and I said, you know, man, I can't think of much that I actually hate. You know, like, I can't think of anything off the top of my head that I would say, yeah, I hate that thing, or I hate that person, or I hate that thought. Because I try to live my life very differently, I guess. You know, I want to see the good in everybody, and that's a downfall too. I want to see the good in everything, and that's a downfall too. You know, it leaves me vulnerable to heartbreak and disappointment and hurt, you know, just in general, you know, and that's tough. You know, it's really tough that that's the way that the world is right now, and I don't like it for my kids. I don't know that if we could have looked into the future and seen that the world is what the world is now, or what was going to be what it is now, I don't know that I would have selfishly brought children into this world with us, you know, like, and that that breaks my heart, because those kids are my world. I love them. I would do anything for them. And it's unfortunate that's how it is. And I talk to other people all the time, and either they've got kids already and they feel the same way, or they don't have kids and they certainly don't feel the same, or they feel the same way. The reason they're not is because of the way the world is today, whatever the case is, right? Like, it's just it's an unfortunate point in the world right now, and I don't appreciate it. I don't enjoy it, and it's unfortunate. Well, couldn't quite film without the windscreen on this one here. No wind blockage meant that that was not going to go well for us. So we're back. Gonna go swap out this bike. Just kind of keep continuing the discussion, I suppose. But the hardest part about the current situation and where the kids come into play is this is just normal for them, right? This is what they've grown up in. And they don't know any different. We don't know any different. All we know is, like as kids, I remember it was very different, right? Like, this was, politics weren't something that we discussed openly and without regard for anybody's feelings, and that kind of things weren't dinner discussion, which, it's okay to make it dinner discussion, I suppose, but I don't subscribe to it. I don't speak politics, until I became an adult. I guess maybe it was a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe my generation was the problem, right? Maybe people my age are the problem. And maybe it's not the kids. Maybe it's us who we were so removed from the politics and the day-to-day that we kind of didn't get involved, didn't get active. I'll be honest, that wasn't something I had any interest in keeping up with or dealing with growing up. That wasn't dinner discussion, and I think it's a great thing that kids are excited about it and want to do those, have those discussions amongst one another and things like that. Whew, that red. That is beautiful. Get a couple of photos and videos real quick of this thing, and we'll get right back. Anyways, we'll get back on topic here. Sorry about that. So, politics have become just the normal, and politics generally brings on hate. I think we can all probably agree on that to some level, politics bring out the worst in people. And that's okay. It's all right. But what's not all right is to hate people just because they have a different view or a different belief than you, whether it's their belief in God or whatever it is. I don't put all of that out there for people. That's my life. That's my decision. That's got nothing to do with anybody but me and myself, I guess my wife to some extent, and my children, what I pour into them. But at the end of the day, that's not everybody's business, and you don't need to be involved in everybody else. It's kind of like a marriage, right? Those people around you don't don't need to have input on your relationship. You know, what happens between you and your significant other is between you and your significant other. It's not for the world to know and get involved in. And unfortunately, social media has kind of just made it a normal thing to overshare and underappreciate. You know, I think I've posted pictures of my kids on the internet all of like 6 times. You know, because it's not everybody else's business, and it's certainly a decision they can make for themselves when they get older. You know, like, but I believe in privacy, and with that comes the privacy from other people knowing my religious beliefs, my political beliefs, and all of those things, because at the end of the day, neither of those things make me the person I am every day. It really, you know, I guess to some extent, yes, it does, but for the most part, those don't make me the person I am. You know, my ability to work hard and see the best in others and all of those things is what make me who I am. So I think that these kids are just too grown these days, and they're indoctrinated. You know, I mean, I see it in the public schools, in the colleges. Again, it comes from nobody being able to make their own opinion, and instead just they need to get in line. They need to share my belief and my thoughts and all of those things. And man, what a boring place the world would be if everybody believed in the same thing, behaved the same way. You know, like, I just can't imagine a world where that is, you know, where people can't have differing opinions and different likes and dislikes. You know, I think about the car world, right, or the motorcycle world. You know, while somebody's custom build may not be for me or something that I would build, that doesn't mean I can't appreciate it and enjoy being around that person and seeing that work of art in most cases. You know, cars, motorcycles, it's all the same, right? Like, everybody has their own tastes. And that's what makes the world fun. And if you can't have healthy discussions and keep your emotions and your ego checked during those discussions on hot topic items, you just shouldn't be having those discussions. There's no reason for it. And that's my hot take for right now. You know, like, I just think that in a world so full of hate, you should strive to be the light in someone's day. Yeah, you should, you know, making people smile, making people happy. That brings me such joy, which is why I love what I do. You know, especially at the detail shop. You know, this is not a necessity. This is a luxury-based service. And so my customers don't have to pay me to polish their cars or, you know, wash their cars or clean their interiors. But when they get it back, they're so happy. And I hear all the time, you know, oh, I just want to sell the car. I want to get it cleaned up to take pictures and post it on the internet for sale. And I'm like, all right, yeah, that's great. You know, this is what I recommend. You know, this is the best bang for your buck, essentially. And it's a good interior and a good exterior with a light polish. Make it shine, bring out some of that extra pop for photos, especially. And they come back and they pick it up and they're baffled. They don't want to sell it anymore because it looks so good again. It's like a new car to them, even though it's been their car, and they're happy. And That's what life should be about, is happiness, and people, especially the people that are close by, that are you're close to. You know, your significant other, your children, your aunts and uncles and grandparents and whoever it is, right? Your close friends. You know, ensuring that you're making them smile, dude. It's a feeling that never gets old. You know, my kid wants to ride the motorcycle to school. It's frustrating. It's extra time. It slows down my morning. It'd be easier if he just rode the school bus, right? But the happiness that he has in getting to ride the motorcycle to school, and the happiness I get out of that, dude, it's unmatched. You can't make me smile more than when I'm getting to make somebody else happy and feel good. And that's why I take that extra 30 minutes every morning to ride him to school and sit on that bench and look at the motorcycle and have those conversations with him, because those are the moments that I'm going to look back on and wish I had more of when I'm not cool, when riding the motorcycle to school, that your dad's not cool anymore, when sitting on the bench is embarrassing, you know, he doesn't want to be seen with me. I get to look back on all these memories and be thankful that I took that time. And my only regret up to this point is not doing it more with my other son, and not making more of those memories that I'll be able to look back on. They may not mean much to them right now, but I hope that one day that it means as much to them as it does to me today. And it will mean much more to me in the future when I'm not that cool dad anymore. Being seen with me is a bad thing. And so I think ultimately, you know, in this world so full of hate, I hope that you can find a way to be one person's light, to be one person's happiness in a day. You know, it's not doing a good deed. Smile at people when you walk by them. Smiles are infectious. You don't know what people are going through. You don't know what's causing them to lash out. You don't know any of those things, and that doesn't excuse their behavior. But it's hard to know why they're behaving the way they are when you don't know where they're coming from. And so I would encourage you over the next week or 2 or 3 or 4, make it a daily habit, you know, like take the time to smile at a stranger that you're walking by, or do something nice for somebody you love, just because. It doesn't have to be flowers or for your significant other or anything like that, but you know, do something that makes them happy, that makes them smile, and tell me that doesn't, you know, that it doesn't return the favor. It's almost selfish at this point for me, because it makes me so happy to make other people happy. You know, it's selfish. But yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I hope that you all are doing well and you're traversing this weird world that we're experiencing safe and doing it and being a good human in the process, you know, making a difference to somebody, because at the end of the day, that's all we can do. That's all we can control as a single individual. And with as divided as we are as a country, everybody's just looking for a reason to hate you or hate on you. And so don't let them get you. Do better, be better, and show them what those things look like. I greatly appreciate the support, the comments, the criticisms. If you've got them, please let them go, man. Like, I want to hear it all. I like to know if I'm doing well or not, and the only way I know that is if you guys that are watching drop me some feedback. I want to be the light in your day too. You know, I want to make sure you know that you're not fighting whatever battle it is that you've got going on all by yourself, and you know, make sure that we're all good together, or we're all bad together. You know, whatever your take on it is. You know, we're all in it together, and together we can all come out of it. And so the feedback would be greatly appreciated. What do you want to see? You want less time, shorter videos, longer videos, more in depth on topics? What topics would you like to discuss? You know, I'm in this to be better for you guys, and it's a great opportunity for me to get stuff off my chest that I've got on my chest. Just like last week, you know, last week was rough. It was just a rough week, and so being able to jump on the bike and cover all of that made all the difference in the world. So I appreciate you guys. Again, like, comment, subscribe, share the post, share the videos.